Hello students, in the last video I had discussed about Liang-Barsky line clipping algorithm in two-dimensional system. Now we are going to discuss the same algorithm in a three-dimensional system. In 2D, we have represent the line segment as two scalar equations. Those are x of alpha equal to 1 minus alpha into x1 plus alpha into x2, y of alpha equal to 1 minus alpha into y1 plus alpha into y2. But in three-dimensional system, to represent any vertex, we need one more coordinate value, that is a z coordinate. So we are supposed to add even one more scalar equation to represent a line segment. That scalar equation is z of alpha equal to 1 minus alpha into z1 plus alpha into z2. The major difference between a line segment clipping in two-dimensional system and three-dimensional system is, in two-dimensional system, we will clip line segment against a side of a window or against line of a output window, but in three-dimensional system we will clip line segments against plane of a output window. As you know, in Liang-Barsky line clipping algorithm, before we start with clipping a line segment, we will calculate 4 intersection points. Those are alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and alpha 4. Now to understand how to calculate those intersection points, we will consider a plane of a output window. As you know, in three-dimensional system, the output window will be a cube, because even we need to consider depth also. So out of 6 faces present in a cube, we'll consider one of the face or one of the plane of the window, and we'll assume a line segment passing through it. The vertices of a line segment are P1 and P2. Now, if we want to calculate one of the intersection point, for example alpha, then to calculate that intersection point, we need to draw a normal on the plane by considering one of the random point, that is P0. Here n is nothing but the normal that we have drawn to calculate alpha value. To draw normal, we will consider a random point on a plane, that is P0. By having these values, the formula or a relation to calculate alpha value or intersection point of a line segment is alpha equal to n into P0 minus P1 divided by n into P2 minus P1, where n is the normal to a plane, P0 is the random point on the plane, P1 and P2 are vertices of a line segments or end points of a line segments. Then till now we have discussed clipping of line segments, that is how to remove the parts of a line segments which are not visible to a user. Now we'll see what is nothing but a polygon clipping. When we define a polygon, generally a polygon is a two-dimensional object with an interior. Here polygon clipping is not as simple when we compare it with a line segment clipping. When we clip a line segment, at most it may give us a result as a single line segment. That is, when we perform clipping on a single line segment, even the output will also be a single line but not a multiple lines. That means we'll remove the unwanted parts of a line segment and the output will be the line segment which is visible to a user. In the same way, when we perform a clipping on a polygon, the result may be a single polygon or it may be a multiple polygons. To understand this statement, we'll consider the diagram present below. When we observe the first diagram, here we are considering a polygon and the rectangle what we are observing is an output window. Because a part of a polygon is going outside the output window, we need to perform clipping on this polygon. So when we perform clipping, we will get the output which is shown in the second part of the diagram. When you observe first diagram, that polygon is a single polygon, but when we perform clipping, the result is shown in second diagram. In the second diagram, because of clipping, we got 3 polygons totally. That means when we perform clipping on one polygon, we are getting 3 polygons as a result. That is the meaning of above point. This problem arises when we try to perform clipping on concave polygons. But when we perform clipping on a convex polygon, we can directly say as a result we'll get a single polygon but not multiple polygons. Then we came to know that when we perform clipping on concave polygon, there is a problem arises, that is the result may not be a single polygon, it may be multiple polygons. Then how to solve that problem is, whenever we need to perform clipping on concave polygon. Before performing clipping on a concave polygon, we need to convert it to a convex polygon, and then clipping need to be applied. The conversion of concave polygon to a convex polygon is known as tessellation operation or tessellation process. For example, here in a diagram, the first part is a concave polygon, and when we apply a tessellation process, that polygon get converted to a convex polygon. And here in a convex polygon, there are multiple polygons which are available, and each sub polygon is a convex polygon. We'll apply clipping operation on each sub polygon or on each sub triangle. Then when we consider a polygon will get constructed by using multiple line segments. That is, when we consider a triangle as a polygon get constructed by using 3 line segments, a rectangle get constructed by 4 line segments, and so on. So when we perform a clipping of a polygon, we can also perform a clipping of line segments of a polygon or edges of a polygon. Edges of a polygon are nothing but line segments of a polygon. So clipping a polygon is nothing but clipping of edges of a polygon or line segments of a polygon. So here we are considering the line segment clipper as a black box, because in a diagram, assume that the rectangle is an output window and we are considering a line segment over here. Assume that this line segment is the side of a polygon or one side of a polygon. Then when we observe over here, some part of the line segment is going beyond the output window, so we need to apply clipping on this side of a polygon or on this line segment of a polygon. For that, we'll give the input to a clipper as 2 endpoints of a line segment, that is x1 y1 and x2 y2. When we give this input to a clipper, the clipper is giving the output as 2 vertices again. Those are x3 y3 and x4 y4. These 2 vertices are the newly calculated intersection points by the clipper, and it is saying that the line segment between x3 y3 and x4 y4 is only visible to a user and remaining part is clipped off. But how this clipper had identified that the line segment between x3 y3 and x4 y4 is visible, and why not the other things, that is not known to us, because the implementation is hidden from us. That is the reason why we will call line segment clipper as a black box. When we perform a line segment clipping, we need to perform clipping with respect to 4 sides of the output window, that is top side, bottom side, left side and right side. So we need 4 clippers totally. One is to perform clipping against top side of the window, that is output window. The other one is to perform clipping against bottom side of the output window. Third one is to perform clipping against left side of the window, and fourth one is to perform clipping against right side of the window. Now as an example, here we'll consider clipping a line segment against top side of the output window. To understand that, here we have a diagram. The rectangle is nothing but your output window, and there is a line segment which is present over here, which is identified by the endpoints x1 y1 and x2 y2. Now we need to perform clipping of this line segment with respect to top side of the output window. Now we are giving an input to a clipper over here. So to the right side, or in the second part of the diagram, we have a clipper. Clipper is identified by the rectangle in the center. To the clipper, we are giving 2 inputs totally. One is the end point of a line segment, those are x1 y1 and x2 y2. The other one is the y maximum value. As you know, the topmost side of a output window represents y maximum value, so even we are giving that as an input to a clipper. So if the y coordinate value of a line segment is exceeding the y maximum value of output window, then that part of a line segment need to be clipped off. When we observe here, the line segment is going beyond y maximum value or topmost side of our output window, so that part need to be removed. Because of that reason, it had calculated an intersection point at the topmost side of an output window where a line segment is intersecting over there. So when we give the input as x1 y1 x2 y2 and a y max, it will calculate intersection point as xi y max, and the resultant line segment will be x1 y1 and xi y max. Because we have applied the clipping on only topmost side of the window, it had given the output as x1 y1 xi y max, and the remaining part of the line segment is removed because it is going above y maximum value. Similar to this, we need to apply clipping on other three sides of the window also, that is left side, bottom side and right side. Each of these four clippers will work independently, so we'll call them as independent clippers. Now, to understand how all four clippers work, here we'll again consider one more line segment with the end points x1 y1 and x2 y2. The middle rectangle what we are seeing, that is nothing but our output window. Now, to represent that in a block diagram, here initial input to the clippers are x1 y1 and x2 y2. When we observe the line segment over here, x1 y1 and x2 y2 are the original endpoints of a line segment, that is the initial input we are giving to a clipper. So out of four clippers we need, that is top clipper, bottom side clipper, right side clipper and left side clipper. First we are considering one of the clipper, that is top side clipper. When we give x1 y1 x2 y2 as an input to top side clipper, then the line segment is going above the topmost side of an output window, so that part need to be removed. So it is calculating an intersection point called x3 y3 at the topmost side of an output window. So the line segment from x3 y3 and x1 y1 need to be removed because it is not visible to a user. So it will perform clipping against topmost side of a window. So the result of topmost clipper is x3 y3 x2 y2. Then in the same way, that the output from the top side clipper is given as an input to a bottom side clipper. When we give this as an input to bottom side clipper, now when it perform the clipping operation, when we observe, the line segment is again going beyond y minimum value. So it need to calculate an intersection point. So that intersection point is x5 comma y5. The line segment between x5 y5 and x2 y2 need to be removed because it is not visible to a user. So the output of bottom side clipper will be x3 y3 and x5 y5. Now we will give this as an input to a right side clipper. Now when we observe the line segment is not exceeding right side output window. That means the line segment is not exceeding x maximum value, so it is not required to calculate any intersection point over here. So the same input what the right side clipper has received, the same thing will be given as an output again. So the output of right side clipper will be x3 y3 and x5 y5. Now this output is given as an input to a left side clipper, and when we observe, the line segment is going beyond left side of an output window, that is the line segment is going beyond x minimum value. So for that, it will calculate an intersection point called x4 y4. So the line segment between x4 y4 and x5 y5 need to be removed. So the final output of the left side clipper will be x3 y3 and x4 y4. So when we observe the complete line segment, that is x1 y1, only the line segment between x3 y3 and x4 y4 is visible, and that we got as an output after applying all four clippers, that is top, bottom, right and left. This is nothing but the clipping of line segment by using four independent clippers, that is top side clipper, bottom side clipper, right side clipper and left side clipper. Now similar to applying clipping on each edge of a polygon or each line segment of a polygon, we can directly apply these four clippers on a polygon itself. That is known as pipeline clipping of a polygon. To understand this, we'll consider a simple polygon, that is a triangle. We'll give this as an input to a top side clipper, and whatever the rectangle we are observing behind the triangle is nothing but our output window. When we give this as an input to a top clipper, as we know, the polygon is going beyond the output window, so that part need to be removed, and that is given as an output to a output from the top side clipper. Then we'll give that as an input to a bottom side clipper. When we observe, the polygon is not going beyond bottom side clipper, so it's not required to perform any clipping operation by the bottom clipper. So the input whatever it is received, that same thing will be given as an output. Then this will be applied, this will be given as an input to a right side clipper. When we observe the polygon is going beyond right edge of a polygon, that is, it is going beyond x maximum value, so clipping need to be applied over here and the result will be given as an output. Now the output of right side clipper will be given as an input to a left side clipper. Now when we observe, the polygon is not going beyond left side of the output window, so the input whatever it is received, the same thing will be given as an output. This is nothing but pipeline clipping of a polygon or clipping of polygon by 4 independent clippers. When we observe this, when we apply the same clipping in 3-dimensional system, then along with 4 independent clippers we need to add 2 more clippers, that is front and back clippers, that is to apply clipping even for a volume or for the z coordinate value.